Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I am Adam, not at the Etihad as I was expecting to when I woke up this morning. Well, I say when I woke up this morning. When I woke up this morning, I was absolutely wounded. Still feeling it right now. Feeling a little bit better though because Man United have won at the Etihad. We've won against Manchester City. We kept the clean sheet, won 1-0, but unfortunately for the Reds and the boys, it wasn't enough on the night to see us go to Wembley in the League Cup, and ultimately we lost it in the first leg. We lost it in that first leg at Old Trafford when we got beaten 3-1, and we were struggling to play out from the back, and we were struggling with Man City's high press. They never let us settle on the ball. We got more nervous. We sat more deep. We conceded more goals. It could have got worse. It didn't. United managed to grab one back. Unfortunately, we either couldn't concede one less or couldn't score one more, because if we had kept that down to just a goal defeat, we would have been going to penalties tonight. And if we could have put a performance in at Old Trafford, we would have been, possibly going to Wembley. So it is a frustrating night. It's a night of frustration. It's a night where we're all disappointed, a little bit gutted, excited because Bruno Fernandes is on the horizon, and obviously it was a positive performance from the boys, despite the fact there was a few, disappointing performances, mostly from our front players, Jesse Lingard, Martial, Greenwood. They didn't light it up at all. Mason Greenwood, obviously a young lad, a big fixture for him, probably the biggest fixture of his career so far. And he came off at half time with what looked like a knock. It was reported by Sky. So, you can't expect too much from him. Expected a little bit more from Anthony Martial, and I'll discuss that a little bit later. We all know I'm a massive fan of Tony Martial's, and I think he's showed signs of where he's improved this season. And he has showed signs of improving. His goal scoring record isn't bad at all when you look at the minutes played and the game started. But tonight I thought he could have done a little bit better with his performance. Frustrated, really frustrated that Juan Mata never took that late free kick for Manchester United at 1-0 up, 88 minutes or so on the clock. Free kick just outside the box, about 23 yards out, centre of the goal. Fred takes it. Now I know Fred can take free kicks. He's scored one against Man City in the past. But a long ranger, I'd tend to give it to Fred, because Mata doesn't get great power on his efforts, but he gets great accuracy on his efforts, and he can put it on a postage stamp. And he didn't take the free kick, and I was sitting there thinking, why have you walked away from this one, Mata? Pull rank. Now I know he'd come on as a substitute moments before, so Pereira and Fred were a little bit more into the game, and they were the ones that sat around it. But Mata should have been taking that, and as the senior pro, as the experienced player, he should have said, "Oi, I'm having this." Now, easy in hindsight when Fred misses the opportunity, but frustrating that we never let Mata take that one. Really frustrating. So, yeah, there was a few little moans, but overall, it was a positive performance from United, and I think, I think Ollie will be happy with that performance. It wasn't bad at all. Like Hybrid says, let's be positive tonight and drown out the toxicity. Ollie deserves a lot of credit, so do the boys. Not many beat Pep twice on his own turf, and that's bang on. And I do think this is a City side that have seemingly clicked into a little bit of gear recently. They're playing better football, they're scoring more goals. They've scored a lot of goals recently, but we just shame we didn't hold on a little bit better at home. Not sure what James brought on instead of Greenwood, says Andy. I think Greenwood was carrying a knock at that point, mate. Ross says, I can't understand Fred hitting that free kick. Mata kept looking to the bench. I don't get it, says Glenn. I think there was an instruction probably from the bench then. Someone else mentioned there was, Mo mentioned that there was instruction from the bench for Mata to walk away from it. I didn't see that at all. That free kick, yeah, I read that comment. Martial was walking, jogging and made a few sprints. Lack of movement, lack of service. Let's hope Bruno can benefit as Martial's partnership until Rashford gets back and can coordinate with them, says Alex Leah. And I think that is a good shout in terms of Martial. I don't think it's just all his own doing. Today, I felt he could have been a lot better with getting into the box. There was far too many times where he was coming out and coming really deep. Now, you can understand that in a sense because he's getting frustrated. There's no service. There's no passes coming into the box. We're not really cutting balls across the box or creating any chances or getting any opportunities in there. We had very few touches in the area. And as a result, you see him get frustrated and drop deep. We used to see that with like Rooney and co. But he's got to remember, he's the main man right now. He's the number 9. Now when Rashford's playing, Rashford will see Martial drift out and he'll fill that gap and go in central because he don't mind that. He's a little bit goal hungry, Rashford, at the moment. Martial needs to get like that. It's all well and good because what he likes to do is drop deep, get the ball, bring someone in for the 1-2, give it them, play the ball, move beyond the defender, look to get the ball back to feet and dribble through on goal and get a shot away. That's what he's always trying to do. And we don't create enough for him in the box for him to say, you know what, I'm just going to sit in the box for a minute. So I do think it's a mixture of him making runs and not being seen, not having faith in that supply line, because Lingard today, whenever he got on the ball, he did some great things. There was a time where he nutmegged 2 City players, won the free kick. There was times where he was winning the ball back and helping United recycle possession. But then there was the times where you need your number 10 when he's getting the ball turning, his first touch was loose or his pass wasn't good enough. And that needs to be better. And that's where a Bruno Fernandes, we're hoping, comes in there and says, fuck that, this is mine, give me that ball. Here's the through ball, Anthony Martial. And then Martial starts thinking, alright, I've got someone now behind me who's always going to play that pass, always going to give me that option, so I'm going to get in behind. I'm going to make those runs. So I do think it's a mixture, but today there was times where we worked the ball out wide to Brandon Williams, we worked the ball out wide and he wasn't in the centre. And sometimes you need to be there because being aerial is not your greatest attribute, but you're not bad in the air. You can score a header, you can nip in behind defenders. And we saw that goal for Mason Greenwood against Sheffield United is one that just jumps into my mind, where he was with the centre halves. Anthony Martial against Chelsea, nipping in front at the front post. We need to do that more now. Without the supply line, I can understand it, but sometimes you just be a bit more goal hungry, man. Get into those positions and just cry out for the ball a little bit, which is what we need. But yeah, I didn't think it was the greatest performance from Anthony Martial today. I'm a massive fan of his, and I do think overall he's shown improvements, but he needs a better supply and he needs to do a little bit better in that position. Glenn says, I think it's positive stuff at the moment with Bruno coming in and him doing the work you're talking about now, so Martial can sit in the box more along with Greenwood. Hopefully that is what happens. Guys, get hitting that like button right about now. We're going to keep this stream popping along a little bit more because I am at home and I'm not at the ground today. I am going to have my player ratings and stuff that I normally incorporate into the aftermath, which I'll be bringing up very, very soon. So if you want to see my player ratings, get hitting that like button right about now and we'll get the player ratings up for you very, very soon. Mia Afsal says, what do you think of Ollie's rant at Lingard? Ollie said, if you give the ball away one more time, you're coming off. And shortly after, Lingard came off now, which makes it seem like it was Lingard. I thought it was originally Matic at the time, whereas I thought Matic had a great game today. I thought it was Matic at the time, but it does look like it was Lingard because Lingard came off shortly after. I like to see that. Ollie's going to protect you in the press conferences. He's going to protect you in his interviews. He's not going to dig you out there. But sometimes on the sideline, players need to be told. Something that springs into my head again, Johnny Evans at Newcastle. Sir Alex Ferguson giving him a bollocking. Absolutely laying into him. I think Johnny gave a little bit back as well, which Fergie would have loved. But yeah, I think we need that. We need that little bit. Pogba, Fred and Fernandes as the new United midfield, says United fam. Nah, not for me. I think that one's a bit too open, you know. At home, you could do it, I suppose, because you'd have Fred sitting there, recycling possession, closing people down. You allow him to focus on that a little bit more. Maybe at home, but in away games, we need a more defensive-minded midfielder. And then I think, personally, Fernandes is kind of probably when Pogba's playing. Obviously, Pogba's going to leave soon in the summer, possibly. Hopefully, he doesn't, but he's probably going to leave soon in the summer. So, I think for now, if we had McTominay, Pogba, Fred, Fernandes, I think Matic and all that. I think we see McTominay, Bruno, and Pogba, and then I think Bruno is the Fred alternative. Fred can come in for Bruno. Bruno come in for Fred. Obviously, Bruno's more attacking. He gets more goals, gets more assists. But he does do some dirty stuff as well. So I'd go for McTominay, Pogba, and Bruno. Alternating at home, play Fred. Fred's got better passing than McTominay. It's a squad game. You're always going to be chopping and changing. But if it's a big game at home against fucking Arsenal or Chelsea or Liverpool or City, and we had everyone fit, and Pogba doesn't leave next summer, Pogba, Bruno, and McTominay for me. Is Matic too hot-headed? I don't think Matic is too hot-headed, lone wanderer. I don't think he's too hot-headed at all. I think it was an unfair booking for his first one. It was a foul, unfair booking. Then the second foul he did was a foul again, but he got warned. I didn't get that. And he calling the fucking captain over and all that. I didn't get that. And then his third one, I think that was always a booking, but I don't think he should have got that first booking. When you're looking at Rodri and Cancelo and how many fouls they were doing, and I felt it was rather odd from the referee to book Matic at that point in time, but he did. Frustrating. So Matic is out of the Wolves game. Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? Or did I imagine a rule that you can't get suspended from the league from a cup game? Did I imagine that? Bruno start against Wolves, says Vikram. They'll probably bring him on in the 60th minute to kill any sort of idea that there's going to be a protest. Knowing Manchester United. Inner Soul's got his ratings there. He says De Gea 8, Maguire 7, Lindelof 6, Shaw 6, Wan-Bissaka 6, Matic 8, Fred 7, Lingard 5, Martial 4, Greenwood 4, James 4, Pereira 3. We won away to City. I don't expect anyone really to be getting below 5. Because when you win away from home against City and you keep a clean sheet and you do all that, that means as a team you've done a very good job. So I think I'll bring my ratings up now actually. I give every player the start on a 6. Every player starts on a 6, yeah, for me. So every player starts on a 6. Then as they either get better or get worse in a game, I deduct or add points. De Gea, so many saves. He was our man of the match today for me. He got an 8. Wan-Bissaka a 6. Some good efforts, some good challenges in the second half. Overall, though, a pretty, he done his job. 6. 7 for Lindelof. 7 for Maguire. 7 for Shaw. Now, a lot of people will be surprised by this, but I felt Luke Shaw playing in a centre-back position, playing up against a very difficult team, the likes of De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva and all these sorts of talented players, David Silva coming on. I thought Shaw did a very good job. Williams got a 6. I don't think Williams and Wan-Bissaka offered enough going forward. That was probably why I didn't rate them a little bit more. And I think defensively, Lindelof, Maguire and Shaw did more than they did. But like I said, De Gea man of the match for his contribution. I've got Matic and Fred with 7s. Matic was on an 8 and then he got sent off. So I had to drop it down a little bit. I know I said it was probably difficult. It's a little bit hard and all that stuff. But I had to drop it down from an 8 to a 7 because of that. But like I said, I think him and De Gea were our man of the matches. So don't kill me for that one. Greenwood, Lingard, Martial a 6. If we didn't win and it was 0-0, they'd probably get a 5. But on pro clubs, when your team scores and you're having a stinker and you're on a 4.8, but your team scores and somehow you're on a 6 now, even though you never got an assist or scored the goals. This is what happened with Greenwood, Lingard and Martial. James, Andreas, Matt, I didn't really have much time to change things for us. But that was the explanation behind my thing. Ryan, I answered that question. Again, stop taking one person's opinion as that of a whole platform. You have to be mighty stupid. Now, I appreciate you watching me and I appreciate you commenting, and I do, I appreciate the support. But if you can't tell, that when one person sends a tweet out or says a comment on a channel or says a comment on a video, it's not representative of the whole fucking organisation and platform. Full-Time Devils is a platform for Man United fans. So if I say Pogba's great, James says Pogba's awful, he needs to go. What is Full-Time Devils' opinion? They don't have one. It's a platform. If you go on Full-Time Devils tomorrow and say Ollie is the greatest manager of all time, that isn't Full-Time Devils' fault. That's your fault for being an idiot. I think people need to realise this. And AdamMcKola TV, where we're at right now, all of these things are my opinions. All of these things are my opinions. So you can complain about me. But I am on most Full-Time Devils videos most weeks. Yeah. And I get criticised for being too pro Pogba. So there you have it. But I appreciate you watching, man. I appreciate you watching on Full-Time Devils and AdamMcKola TV. But I just feel that frustrates me. Because we've built a platform for Man United fans to have their say, to have different opinions, and then one person has an opinion which doesn't match their own, and they blame the whole thing. It don't make no sense. Excuse me, before I cough my guts up. That hurt. Anyway, don't give Ryan any abuse in the comments. Full-Time James has got people triggered. There's a difference from a fan channel to a personal channel. Dear AdamMcKola, United should sell Pereira, Bailly, Lingard, Shaw, Matic and Phil Jones. Bailly? I know you could argue that Bailly should be sold, to be fair, but not for me. Not for me. I think he deserves a chance. We've given Jones this long. We gave Smalling until recently. I think he deserves a chance. Get hitting that like button, guys. Can we hit 100 likes on this video? My rating for Solskjaer today was 7. I think when you win away from home, it's always a good result. I think his hands were tied a little bit in terms of going for it in the last 10 minutes because of the fact Matic got sent off. But he still brought on Juan Mata and did go for it a little bit. Juan Mata should have took that damn free kick. I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night thinking Juan Mata should have took that free kick. I just know it. I hope I don't wake up in the middle of the night, because when did I mark Roy Hodgson's age, man? When did I do that? Did I do that? Did I say something stupid about Roy Hodgson? I should respect his age, really. He's killing it at his age, isn't he? Palace ain't doing too badly. Are they really going to sign Yannick Carrasco? Is that really going down, or is that just something that's not really happening? Bruno is coming, says Ravi Raj. Bruno is coming. Bruno is on his way. His touchdown as well in Manchester. We saw the picture of him arriving with his family and his agent and his team. So great to see that he's arrived. Can't wait until he pulls on that United shirt and we get. I'm just glad to have a midfielder, to be honest with you. And what I like about Bruno Fernandes is, look, he could be like a Kagawa, he could be like a Mkhitaryan, but what I like about him is he does the dirty stuff. He works hard. He grafts for the team. He takes on responsibility. And this is why I think we should sign Jack Grealish as well, because he's another one of them at Villa who has to take on all the responsibility, and he does it happily. And Bruno's that at Sporting. He can play deeper in that 8. He can play deep alongside in a midfield 3. He can play as part of the 3 in a 4-2-3-1 as the 10. He can play in a number of positions, so I like him. I think he's a fantastic player. I just hope that he settles into the Premier League. We're going to have to give him a little bit of time. I'd maybe not rush to judging him until, a few months or even the start of next season, because we're going to have to give him time to settle. but hopefully he can make an immediate impact. When you're looking at the numbers that he's put up in the last 12 to 18 months, he's been incredible. I think he got Liga NOS Player of the Year last 2 years running. Fantastic talent, scoring goals, making goals, and I'm glad United have signed him. When you look at the price we've signed him for as well, 46.5 million, which is rumoured to be plus add-ons, obviously, which could be about 10-15 mil. If we meet those add-ons, that means it's been a success. So when you're looking at that, that's credible. Has the TRA been banned, Nathan? Is that true? Because I heard a rumour about that before, and it wasn't true. It was because they didn't have time to organise it for that game. But if that's something that's come out recently and that's true, that's a disgrace. The chant is one that we've sang about City for a long, long time. We're singing it again today. Now, I know if your name's in it and you hear it, it can't be nice to hear, but, you know, we've never... It's a football chant. Do you know what I mean? And that'd be disappointing if that's happened. It's a bit mad. Hope it's not true. And I'll wait for confirmation. Because what you'll notice at the moment is a lot of stories are written just to poke and prod Manchester United fans and get us angry, which is annoying. All love, Ryan. I appreciate you, man. Just realise if you went on full-time Devils, you wouldn't be speaking for the whole channel either, and you're allowed to go on there at any game. The midfield currently should be Bruno, Matic and Fred. Says Arif, probably not going to have Matic for that game against Wolves now, so it'll probably be Fred, Bruno, Pereira or something. Oh my god, just go all out attack United. It's going to be a difficult game with that Wolves. I am going to have a preview for my voice is going. I'm going to have a preview and all that stuff coming up for that game this week, as well as a lot more stuff. So make sure you're keeping it locked. Make sure you're liking, commenting and sharing. We've got more reaction coming your way. Fan cams are coming on full-time Devils. Plenty more stuff coming out as well. Sam loved seeing Ollie going crazy on the touchline. We do need more of that on the touchline every now and then. Not every game, but when it's needed. Of course, you look at it and you think, he's still going to protect people in the public, in the press conferences, in the interviews, and that's what you want to see him do. But on the sideline, in the heat of battle, you got to get your message across, and I think he did that, just that. So guys, thank you for watching AdamMcKola TV. Thank you for tuning in. If you've come over from Full-Time Devils as well, I really do appreciate it. Make sure you're keeping it locked. Fan cams are on their way, although I'm going to be in my sick bed in a minute. Fan cams are coming from the Etihad, so make sure you're keeping it locked for that. I'm off to get some Anadin. I'm out of here.